Okay, hello. It's Luzakr again. The last commentary of Glitchless Bingo tourney. It's me against PiKine in the best of three. Actually, during tourney, during the first two matches, I thought it was best of five, but then I got noticed that it was best of five before the last match. So yeah. Um, I kind of spoiled what the outcome's gonna be. It's gonna be 2-1 to someone. So three games before ahead of us. So this format is gonna be this video is gonna be in slightly different format. I have watched these games to analyze them a little bit, and we're just gonna jump through those because I've already talked about them a little. But when I was on the second match, I noticed that I'm just talking, um, and like no analysis is really taken care of. And that's because at this level, it was the case before, but here it's even more noticeable that every decision we make is kind of fine and kind of makes sense. And what I wanted to do is to find and to check, are those fine decisions are actually fine, or are we making actually mistakes in our routes? And I'm gonna say I did much more mistakes than PiKine, uh, at least in amount. How much I've lost in those. Maybe PiKine made much less mistakes, but maybe they were more costly. You'll see in a second what I'm talking about. So the first match. Before we continue, I recommend you before, if you're analyzing it with me, check the board by yourself and check what you would do, what you would practice, or what would you focus on. Secondly, because of this format, it's not gonna be a commentary, so I recommend you watching the original video. It's even in English in Chipsikov's channel by Portal and 7, yes. So you can check those out. Here I'm gonna jump a little. First game, I think there's a lot to talk about before we even start the match. So let's go with the goals. So let's say we've analyzed those. What I'm gonna say about this first board, this analysis is a little bit too much. Probably in real time, nobody would go through this that deeply. So beware, that's the case. So we have Rick to Sempra. Let me get those that are actually meaningful. So we have 3 Rick to Sempras, that's pretty good. But we have also finished a spell challenge with a gnome. I'm gonna select it like this and beat the goal time into spell challenges. We also have a Scourge start, so we have Scourge Secrets, Complete Scourge. This is required for the beat the goal time in spell challenges, and Scourge is even better than Rictus Zebra with the finishing a spell challenge with a gnome. And what I'm gonna say is Scourge plus Rictus Zebra is like route 1. Because they're very connected with each other, because of the beat the goal time into spell challenges. So you kind of have to do both of them if you want this task. Second path, I would say it's not really a path, but a different approach that you could go for is a bicorn. So collect 6 cards, destroy ectoplasm. By this you're also gonna get the 6 potions. So practically it's yours, and you're gonna get some nice Wigentry Barks. It also combines well with Forest. So we have Wigentry Barks in Forest, Forest itself, Argok Fight. Yeah, and mostly that's it. And there are some couple things to note. For example, there's maybe with different color. There's Gryffindor Challenge Secret, pretty fast. Diffindo, I'm gonna talk about Diffindo in a second because in this matchup there's something unique. We have one Boom Slunk, we have some Basilisk armor stands, so we have somewhat nice littering, but it's in the longer run, a little bit later. So let's take these off for now. But you could start with this, or with Gryffindor Challenge, or with Boomslang as fast goals. It's also the case. About Diffindo, I'm gonna talk about it right now. Those two goals are practically PiKines. Why? Because of the frog strat. He can do it, I cannot. It's gonna take him at max 2 minutes. That's completely max. I think I'm pretty sure he can do it faster. For me, it's at least 5 minutes and a half, or even 6 minutes. So if I want to go for those two, I'm gonna lose immediately 4 minutes, just like that. So I would say the forest and Bicorn, sorry, is like the route 2, the second path that you can take care of. They're roughly the same, and if you check the numbers, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for those. Actually, it's even 7 with this, because it's very good with Bicorn, or even better with Forest. Yeah, also this. So maybe let's go with White. So it's actually 7. And when we check the spell challenges, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's practically the same. Time-wise, also very similar. Bicorn is a little bit longer with those goals, but Forest is a little bit faster than Riktu and Scourge on the other hand. So I would say they're roughly the same. Of course, it can happen that one player goes for these, and the second one goes for these, and they should be roughly at the same amount. Although second path might be a little bit slower, but it gives much more opportunities to get some wizard cards, not from the chest, which is a new goal. There are gonna be new goals for this finals that Chipsikov prepared for us. So that's the whole idea. So after checking this one out, this route, this board, I think starting with Riktu is the best option. Why is that's the case? There are a couple of scenarios that can happen. So scenario number 1, let's go with the white. Scenario number 1, you both go to Riktu. It's practically the worst scenario. You both go to Riktu. What I would propose is doing everything in Riktu. I'm gonna explain why later. In other scenarios it's gonna work much better. But if you both go to Riktu, when the question is 6 beans in the chasm, whoever gets it first kinda gives out the information to the other player that he's been sniped or he's in the same level. But the time wise also it matters. If you're the people with the similar speedrunning level, PiKine is a little bit faster than I am. So yeah, but it's not that much. He can be like at max 10 seconds faster, but maybe not even that. When it comes to pure movement, but let's say you're at the same level. If he just barely snipes beans in the chasm, he's doing everything in Riktu Sempra. Yeah, he's doing everything in Riktu Sempra. He doesn't know you're in Riktu Sempra. He might think you're in Scourge, for example. So, Riktu Sempra is also a good level to get a spell challenge with a gnome. It takes a little bit of time. Not much, but just slightly more. It might be enough advantage for you to go for everything else, so this one and this one, but just finish a spell challenge with a gnome in your hand. And that might give you a little bit of advantage in that regard, and because of that you're gonna finish Rick to Sempra first, then you're gonna enter Scourge and get those 3 goals with the opportunity to get some unique potion cauldrons. Second scenario, you go to Rick 2 and Hanami goes to Scourge. And so you go to Rick 2, do everything, and you claim 6 beans in the chasm. If your opponent, let's say I'm the one going to Rick 2 and PiKine is going for anywhere else. So for example, if PiKine in this scenario went to Scourge, he sees I got 6 beans in the chasm. Now he could hold the Scourge, in theory. I would say he wouldn't do that, at least not for that long, because what you can do in Rick 2 is finish a spell challenge with a gnome, which is even better for Scourge, so it's gonna be his, but he has to claim it to win against me. And if this is the only thing he's gonna claim, that means he was in Scourge and was worried I'm gonna steal it from Rick to Sempra. So I'm gonna know he's gonna do complete Scourge and all Scourge secrets. So then I won't be sniped on Scourge, and I'm gonna have a little bit better level with the Rick to Sempras, and then we can deal with the bicorns or forests, probably leaving out the beat the goal time. If your opponent then goes to Rick 2, either way, you're gonna win on bicorn on the forest, so it's probably not a good idea for him. So then being sniped is a little bit on the finished spell challenge with a gnome. You don't really go for this. So first scenario, you go to Rick 2 and your opponent goes, and it's practically the same, bicorn or forest. So basically you finish all the Rick 2, you have this, and your opponent can hold those, but you're gonna still go to Scourge. The little downside of it is your opponent might go to Scourge before you finish Rick to Sempra. That might happen with the forest, especially. With bicorn not so much, but you can, I think you might complete forest faster than you complete Rick to Sempra, so he might snipe on Scourge. Even if he does that, you have this already, so he's gonna snipe you on two goals out of 4, so you're gonna be 50-50 and you're not gonna be that much sniped. Yeah, and you're gonna lose the similar amount of time in the end. So when sniping you isn't that huge of a deal, because you've already done this. You have beat the goal time because you were collecting stars either way in Scourge, so being sniped isn't that worse of a scenario. And scenario 4th, you go to Rick to Sempra and somebody else goes to, for example, Slytherin with the armor stand, go for the fast Gryffindor challenge and goes for the fast Boomslang. In that scenario, probably your opponent's gonna mark those pretty quickly, because Fix the Bridge is pretty quick, a complete Boomslang is quick, Gryffindor challenge secrets is quick. What else someone could go for? Even if someone goes for the Findo, he's gonna quickly get stack 5 mushrooms in the Findo. In that scenario, you can hold Rick to Sempra without any problems, because somebody's gonna mark it before you mark 6 beans in the chasm, so it's not gonna be that huge of a deal. If he then goes to Scourge to snipe you, the same scenario as Forest, basically. So he gets 2, you get 2, and that's about it. And that's, I think, like most of the scenarios. Yeah. Now let's go back to the match. Let me delete everything. So I'm gonna now talk about what mistakes we were making. The start is Scourge. We both went to Scourge with a little bit of difference. I went for everything, so I went this, potentially this and this. PiKine just decided to skip the Scourge secret in case we were racing, so he went for the complete Scourge, beat the gold time, and finished the spell challenge with a gnome, also with the little bit of use potion cauldron because we both went for the bark below. We're gonna see in a moment. PiKine turned back, but decided to go for it, but me as well went for it. None of these tactics are particularly wrong. Of course, in this scenario, PiKine is better off, but it's only better off because I went to Scourge after him. Going full Scourge isn't the worst. Again, there are so many possibilities. For example, going to Rictus Emperor, going Forest, for going Bicorn, even going fast ones. So at this point, there are no clear mistakes, although PiKine would be much better off. So because of that, it's gonna be much better for PiKine. So if we go forward a little bit, PiKine is gonna get those goals, and I'm gonna see, yeah. At this point I see he completed the Scourge, finished a spell challenge with a gnome. There's no point of holding Scourge secrets, so that means, I don't know why I didn't grab the gnome, to be honest. I probably forgot. All Scourge secrets, so that means he went for the fast Scourge without the secrets. So I could hold it even if I collected this. Now, the two mistakes happen for both of us. But PiKine's mistake is greater. Like, if PiKine played right, I would lose at this point. But fortunately for me, PiKine made a mistake. So in this scenario, both of us making mistake was good for me. Okay, what should be the next option? The next level, of course, Rictus Emperor for PiKine. Because we're gonna get the gold time. Rictus Emperor by itself is pretty strong. So it should be the next option. Of course, there's a small detail that probably PiKine was thinking of, that I might have gone for Rictus Emperor. The problem with this is, again, with scenarios I've talked about, the chasm. I would most probably take it before he finishes the Scourge. It's not as long as you might think. So getting those, this goal would be faster for me, so PiKine would have seen that I was in Rictus Emperor before him. Of course, it's not really, you can't be really that sure, but at this point, even if you don't know that, where I could go to Forest, Bicorn, Rictus Emperor, one of those three. Even if I snipe you on Rictus Emperor, you can still get the beat the gold time into spell challenges. Still something, not the greatest, but you can deal with that. So that was kind of his mistake. He didn't go there, and my mistake was going to Rictus. Why was that a mistake? Because the best path for PiKine, and you have to consider that your opponent is doing the best routing, is doing the Rictus Emperor. And if I'm behind on Rictus Emperor, I'm gonna lose everything here. I'm gonna lose every goal here, so I'm gonna be practically 6-1, because I'm only gonna have Scourge Secrets and he's gonna have everything else. Yeah, and that was pretty bad for me. But also, fortunately, I got PiKine's mistake as well. So PiKine decides to go to the Forest. Bicorn, both of these are completely fine. But because of that, I'm gonna get the Rictus. So being sniped on Scourge, then that isn't that huge of a deal. And also I can hold Scourge a little bit longer. Also, let's see what happens next. What I have. Oh, okay. The next thing. It's understandable why PiKine dies here. Unfortunately, why PiKine does this, but it actually gives some information out. Let's see in a moment. He does the correct thing, so he's gonna get the mucus. get the activate the cauldron, and get another mucus to get ingredients for the next potion cauldron. So after forest, he can get already 3, and that's where mistake lies. So let him continue. So he grabs this. I went for the unique potion cauldron. I didn't kinda know what, I wasn't kinda sure if I can fight it. Why not? You can go for it. But now PiKine decides to claim 3 unique potion cauldrons. I don't know if I noticed it right away, but okay, somebody after Scourge decides to get this after a couple of minutes. Where has been in? So Rictus Sempra he was in Rictus Sempra. There are no ingredients, so he has 1 each from Scourge, and that's it. He could have gone for Bicorn because, as you can know, as we can all say, there are a lot of ingredients in Bicorn itself. But one, you can get a lot of ingredients, but you're gonna waste on single potion, so you're not gonna have that many. Secondly, there are not many options for potion cauldrons, and in forest there's forest after. At the end of the forest, and before even entering the forest, you can activate the potion cauldron. Let me check back. I think PiKine went for the potion cauldron next to the Scourge. Maybe? Probably, yeah. Yeah, but if he even could go for the potion cauldron before the forest, near the Hagrid's hut, and he's gonna be on 3. There's no other possibility to get 3 unique potion cauldrons after Scourge so quickly without going to forest. So yes, it's understandable why it's being marked, because it's an easy goal to steal. The only other possibility is for PiKine to go to the Scourge, and after Scourge going to the stairs. And then he can go to bathroom, copy 2 times of the ingredients, get 1 of the ingredients each, get the potion cauldron, 1 potion cauldron, then go back to get second ingredients, then go to the potion cauldron, for example here. But it's pretty lengthy, it's not really worth it. It would practically lose you the game. There's nothing else to do there's secrets in Grand Staircase, but still not a very wise choice. So I should be pretty sure that PiKine was in forest. So even stuff like this gives a lot of information to your opponent. Also another thing. At this point, I should also know, because at this point I was maybe let us continue, because maybe saying it now doesn't make any sense. So PiKine goes to Scourge, but he's not going for the secrets. He goes just to get armor stands, which is fine. Little bit of time wasted, but it's not that huge of a deal, especially if he doesn't know where I'm going. So I went to Bicorn then. Kinda risky as well again, because after forest PiKine could have gone for the chamber, for the Bicorn himself. Sometimes you have to take the risk. And the thing I was talking about earlier, about PiKine thinking I was in Rictu, here it doesn't make that huge sense. Maybe he just didn't know where I've been, and he's taking the risks. Kinda understandable why that's the case. Like, you cannot really tell what I've been up to. I'm holding Scourge secrets and whole Rictus Sempra with the beat the goal time to spell changes. It's a little bit too much to control. So unfortunately for him, I'm gonna snipe him, and I'm gonna do the Bicorn by myself. Here PiKine is marking the Aragog, but I kinda should know that's the case. I could have waited with the Rictus Sempra a little bit longer, Um, but the timing was still very good for me. Even if he seems it's not the greatest because PiKine just started. He should be a lot further in the level. Why? He died in the forest, and it cost him about 40 seconds. So at this point, without dying, he should be around the chasm. So, so yeah, it doesn't seem that good, but I think the timing was pretty decent. Okay, so let us continue. PiKine is gonna rush through the Rictus Emperor because there's literally nothing for him to do. And I'm just gonna do Bicorn. I'm getting the ingredients to getting the potion. So at this point, now I can say it, I still gave up on the Wigentry barks. You're gonna later see that I'm gonna skip those. There's literally no point on skipping for me because forest is like free, and Bicorn with the potion class is much more. So I was ahead at this point, but I decided not to go for it. So yeah. So at this point, I don't have notes or where I've been or where I go. PiKine is gonna go for the Slytherin. Yes, it's pretty fine. He can hold the Defendo. He can also expect that I went to Bicorn, especially because I marked it, and it's I even think I should be insta marking it because in the other scenario that PiKine is right behind me on Bicord, not in Rig 2, could end up pretty badly for me. I think I waited a little bit too long. I'm getting the buyer to get an ingredient. PiKine is going to go for the Slytherin. I go for the Boomslang because there's a cauldron in the meantime. PiKine shows that he's in Slytherin right now. Because he gets armor stand. Yeah, now fix the bridge. I went back because there's a goal of collecting 7 wizard cards, not from the chest, so it's kinda slow to do it. It takes a lot of time. But I was hoping that PiKine is now on Slytherin. Of course, he could hold it, but it's too much of a brainstorm. I'm pretty sure I was hoping that he's now in Slytherin, as he marked. So I had a little bit of time to go around, get the cards, not from the chests. I'm gonna use the potion cauldron to get some potions. PiKine is going for the Gryffindor challenge, which is fine. I could be anywhere at this point. And nextly, if somebody wonders why no Defender, for example, as I said before, is pretty free for PiKine. He can hold it even for the rest of the match. I'm not gonna go there. It's his. So I'm gonna go with the Boomslang. Wait, he didn't go to Gryffindor Challenge? Oh, he didn't go to Gryffindor Challenge. Maybe he was worried. Okay. So where? Oh, I think he went to the Defendo next. I guess he didn't know where I was going. It's hard to say what my next destination would be. So yeah, I was doing Shroom Stack, but from what I remember, it went badly and I gave up. Yes. So I could also go here for Vegan Trees. The 2 next also with the Boomslang. I probably won't be holding that long for the Boomslang, yes, because I also don't know what PiKine is up to. Looking back at the Slytherin that PiKine was just marking. So yeah, PiKine could also hold the Defendo much longer and go for something else. there's a risk I could steal something. But for example, going for the Grand Staircase secrets, with getting 2 wizard cards not from the chests, one up and one in Dumbledore's office, would be also a decent decision. Also, Goy secrets to get some Wigger Tree Parks. He can get some in Diffindo as well, but as we see, PiKine is just rushing through the Diffindo, and with the strat, there's not it's not a problem for him. Here he decided to get stack 5 rooms in Diffindo, and he's gonna hold complete Diffindo for very very long. In any other scenario, I would think, okay, all this time was wasted on Diffindo, but for the PiKine I knew it's practically free for him. I could be baited that other players maybe not go for the frog strat because it's kinda dumb. But for PiKine I'm 100% sure. Maybe with Portal as well I would be like 90% sure he went for it. But with PiKine, yeah, you won't fool me. So yeah, Gryffindor Challenge, Secrets, PiKine marked Shrooms in the Findo. That's why I grabbed Gryffindor Challenge Secrets, because I knew PiKine was close to the end or finished or just finished complete Diffindo. Here I was wondering what to do. I went for the Grand Staircase Secrets because of the amount of the goals I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. With this I'm gonna be 11. Getting those two is gonna be 12 and 13. That's my go-to. PiKine going for the goal secrets. Also getting wing entry barks, which is understandable, but it's kind of slows the pace. And it could be there's not much that PiKine could do. He could steal the Grand Staircase with the defeat the Basilisk, but those aren't very worth it. So also he's probably baiting me that he's doing the Diffindo. So he might think that he might be baiting me for gold secrets, which is not the case. But at this point, and the situation we're in, I'm having a lot of Grand Staircase secrets. I'm pretty sure I'm ahead on 7 Wizard cards from the chest. PiKine is in Goyle, not in Basilisk, so it's pretty much finished. There's also one card in the chamber itself, so that's why it's I decided to go for the chamber. Because PiKine could be in Goyle, he could be dueling. I also gave up unique weekend tree barks, so there was no really a need. I would still lose, to be honest, but there was no point of giving unique weekend tree barks. Okay, that's for the game 1. I'm just gonna rush it through and just go for the second match right now. So that was... So the early game was won by PiKine, but the second option, not going for the Rig 2, and me going for the Rig 2 was a mistake, but PiKine, even a worse mistake, was also not going for the Rig 2. And that was very costly. I could snipe him on Rig 2, so yeah, then I could like dictate the terms of the match, because I finished Bicorn when he finished Rig 2, so I was a lot of ahead when he didn't have that many. Okay, the second match. So let me check the notes. Let's check the board and the potential starts that you can start, the start levels that you can go with. So we have Boom Slang, kinda nice Boom Slang, with getting some flower. With getting some flower pots. It's pretty fast level, so you can go with this. You could also start. So let me mark the other things that is connected with Boomslang, which is the Findo with the flower pots. You can get the flower pots, and there was complete the Findo. Also, starting with the Findo is very strong because you're gonna get one completion star, and getting through hold the Findo, it takes a lot of time. So getting there first to secure completion stars is very, very nice. So it's even better to go to the Findo, for example, right after Boomslang. And there's also Aragog fight, 15 outside. There was defeat Aragog as well. Unique potion cauldrons is pretty nice with the forest, as we've watched before. So also we have that. The other route you can go for is, for example, let me get another color, for example, green. Rick to Sempra start. So Rick to Sempra. Is there one more? Yeah, and the Chasm. So Rick to Sempra is pretty strong, and you're gonna get one completion star. It's not as costly as Defendo though, that's why Defendo is a little bit better. But Rick to Sempra, for example, has nice bronze cards that are in the way. Then you could go for the challenges. Also, if we also with the Defendo and Boomslang start, you could go for the forest to get some more of the spiders, defeat Aragog, but then also the Spongify is pretty strong. Where do we have Spongify? Spongify secrets to combine with the Aragog fight. There are 2 crabs, so flip 4 giant crabs in the meantime. So there are the possibilities. Other options, nothing that strong. Also note to remember, it's gonna be important at some point. There are 2 buying goals, so and they are quite fast. They're not as slow, so you can also go for those. Also, there are fast goals. So for example, 16 beans in Lokar's balcony, spawn 6 gnomes in the girls' bathroom are also the options. Willow, complete Gryffindor challenge. So there are fast goals as well. Let's see what it's gonna turn out to. It's gonna be Boomslang. PiKine is gonna be faster than I am with cutting the Dracula heads. It just slightly, as you can see, because we're in the same position practically, and yeah, it's less than half a second difference, and PiKine gets cut into Dracula heads. So yeah, that's the situation. We get some spiders, we get some barks. I decided to finish the challenge as fast as possible to at least get something, because I knew it was a little bit ahead. Even if it's a half a second, it's still ahead. So I just went straight for complete Boomslang to get at least something from this. Of course, PiKine is gonna get some flower pots. He's gonna get a card. But if I went for both of these with PiKine, I would lose even more. So at least I have this. PiKine, to be honest, at this point could have gone for the card now. I already stole it from him, so it doesn't really matter. So PiKine goes for the route that I was talking about earlier. He's gonna go Defendo. He's gonna secure completion stars. At least at some point he's gonna secure those. So that's a pretty good choice to do. I decide to go for the fast ones, which is also a choice. So both of the routes are completely fine, because as you will see, Defendo it takes a lot of time, and I'm gonna be able to complete a lot of stuff. Even if I go for the fast ones, getting from point A to point B with those, it's gonna take me a while. So yes, they're very fast, but going to from place to place to get these takes a little bit. So it's not as great as you might think. So getting the gnomes, also getting some ingredients for unique potion cauldron. Why not? Then I go for Gryffindor challenge for another fast goal. I'm marking this as I go because I cannot really tell what PiKine is up to. I should expect he's in Gryffindor, but it's really hard to tell. So I'm going for the Gryffindor challenge. It's just complete, so it's even faster than secrets. And I go to Riktu. Riktu is still fine. Even though I've said before, PiKine secured completion stars by going to Gryffindor, practically going Riktu is still fine because we have put the crabs in Riktu, chasm in Riktu, and Riktu Sempra secrets. So it's still a good level to go for, even if this goal didn't exist. That's why going Riktu is still a good choice after those fast ones. Of course, the downside of my movement is PiKine knows what I'm doing and what I'm up to, so he can hold Defendo for quite some time. But it also gives a little bit of information. I don't know if during the game I did, but at least I should. PiKine isn't marking much. He isn't marking anything for quite some time because he's doing Defendo, which is lengthy, and he's gonna hold Defendo. So what else could he have done in the meantime? I don't know why I'm collecting those stars. I guess I wasn't sure what do I have. The crab unfortunately wasn't there, so let us continue. PiKine is finishing the Defendo. Now after the Defendo, as I've said before, there are two things that you can go for. For example, Spongify to get another completion star, to get some spiders with the forest, Spongify secrets. There are a lot of cards to go there for, because the other another option is going for Riktu Sempra that I might be in. So I'm pretty sure he now goes to Spongify, which is right. Yeah, he gets this cauldron. A little bit of time wasted, but that's fine. And he's gonna go for Spongify, which is a good decision. I'm getting some bronzes, getting some doing the tasks. Here I failed because I jumped through. I was wondering if I can go back, but I cannot. I died, so yeah, another time wasted. So I claimed the chasm because I don't know what's actually PiKine is up to. I should expect Defendo, but there's too much things to think of, so let's go forward with all of these. And if I claim the chasm, then there's no point of holding anything else in Rig 2, so I can continue. Now, because I should expect PiKine to go for that he went for Defendo because it's a good choice after the Boomslang. He's not marking anything with other goals while doing Riktu Sempra. He might have marked, for example, Forest or Slytherin, I guess, or anything really, because there's nothing that long as Defendo. So during the period that I was doing the Riktu Sempra, PiKine would have marked anything else, because anything else could be as fast as Riktu, so I could have stolen it from him. He isn't marking anything because he did Defendo, and because of that I should know he wasn't Defendo. Because of that I should know that completion stars is out of the question, so I shouldn't be looking for the spell challenges that much. I should be looking at spell changes without taking into the account 5 completion stars, so I went for Scourge, which has 1 goal. I'm gonna get some bronzes, a possibility to get a potion cauldron, but it's a mistake on my part. That shouldn't be the case, because I don't know where PiKine is at this moment, and I already went for the fast ones. After some time, I would go for the Willow and not waste time on the Scourge, because it's gonna take a little bit of time, and I'm not gonna get that much from it. And PiKine is continuing with Spongify, so let's just continue. PiKine next decision. I don't have anything written. I don't remember where PiKine went. He went to forest, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah. As an obvious choice that I've said before, it's very strong. I didn't even get the bark from the Scourge. It would be more costly, but I guess unique potion cauldron will be taken by me. So PiKine is gonna get a lot of golds by now, and I'm just gonna be stuck with Scourge, and that's not gonna help me that much. Unless I gonna decide to go for the Diffindo. Then I go to Spongify. Now at this point, again, I should know that PiKine was in Diffindo, he was in Spongify. So the only reason I would go for Spongify is literally completion stars that I should be giving up, and flip for giant fire crabs that you don't really need. That was my another mistake. For some reason I thought there are two in chamber, one in Spongify and one in Goyle, but that's not the case. There are actually two in Spongify and two in Goyle, so you don't even have to enter Spongify to get this goal. So going to Spongify is even more of a mistake than Scourge, in my opinion. And I also did whole Spongify, not only the first half to get completion stars, but I also went for the giant crab. So that's another huge mistake. I don't know if it's not even enough. So let us continue. PiKine getting another mucus with the potion, then mucus again. So he's gonna be very close to the unique potion cauldrons. So I finished Spongify. Doesn't give me anything. I'm getting some bronzes. I probably expected PiKine to go for the Diffindo. Also, there was a lot of time passed and I didn't claim anything, especially in this game, and that I was claiming everything, so it's understandable that PiKine went for it. Here I went for the forest. Again, I should be expecting forest, as well as I should be expecting all of these goals. So yeah, I went to forest to get those goals. From the PiKine's perspective, he should be marking now the forest, to be honest, because at that point I was in Spongify. I could have gone to the forest and sniped it from him, and I was way too close to get 15 spiders out of the Argok fight. Way too close. Okay, and PiKine goes for the duels. Duels are pretty good for him, so it's a good decision. And he is gonna snipe me like here. This is the last spider. I didn't kinda remember how to bait the last spider, and he sniped me on this. This time he decided to wait with the unique potion cauldrons, unlike the previous match, which is a good decision because it kinda gives the information, might give information. At this point, there are a lot of possibilities to get 5 unique potion cauldrons, so it's not necessarily means that you were in the forest, but yeah, it might have. So after the forest, Um, where I go is the chamber. There are crabs and chests in chamber. It's a little bit of a risk because PiKine at this point could be in chamber and not doing the duels. So it's kind of hard to say. Now also the willow would be again fine option for me. I don't have even enough giant fire crabs because I only grabbed one in Spongify except for two, so I'm just gonna get one gold from this. So after this time, PiKine is buying the stuff. He goes for the bicorn. One of the options. There's nothing that strong left, so he just goes for the stuff. He should be pretty safe with the completion stars, as I've said before. Even if I sniped him on the completion stars, it would take me a lot of time to actually get it from him, so it wouldn't be that huge of a deal. He would win on other goals. So now after chamber, I went to the willow pretty late, too late. Now it doesn't really matter, and I'm gonna show you why. So PiKine is gonna finish the bicorn. It's over. It was over when I practically entered Spongify and didn't grab another giant crabs, but it doesn't really matter as well. So PiKine is gonna go for the Slithering, the next challenge, why not? And I'm gonna go for the willow. Grabbing the willow. I kinda don't know where PiKine might have gone. He might have gone for the willow, Slithering, I don't know. At this point this is not even salvageable. I go to Goyle to get some nice bronzes because yeah, you can grab some. You can I'm gonna get fire crabs, but I would need another potion in Citrine, which is, as you can see, impossible, or 5 completion stars, which again would be close to impossible because of the Diffindo. So yeah, it would be even better for me to now go to the Diffindo and wait with those crabs. But on another note, PiKine could grab giant crabs as well. Also a note, PiKine actually didn't get open 13 chests in Bicorn. He got, from what I remember, 12 or 11. But it wouldn't change I think, if it was unmarked. When it was noticed, it wouldn't make a difference. He would still win. Because it was noticed at the end, right before here. We were talking about, wait, PiKine doesn't have 13 Bicorn chests. When I was thinking, yeah, with the things how they look on the board, I would need a couple of minutes. PiKine would need like 3 minutes to finish everything. He even got 27 bronze wizard cards. I was on 26, so it even ended a little bit earlier than I would have liked. Still, PiKine would have win even without this Bicorn mistake, I would say. Okay, not that much to talk about this match. I just went to the levels I shouldn't go for, and PiKine went for the levels which were pretty good. No mistakes from him, many mistakes from me, and that's what basically happened. Match number 3. Let me only check. Okay. I have my mic on. I would be annoyed. So let's check the board. So we have Spongify here. We have some challenge stars, so that's pretty nice. We're gonna get some ingredients, so use the potion cauldron in hospital wing is when a possibility. I will also all 16 beans in Luzakr's balcony later. You could also start with the task here with the stars. So 16 beans, use the potion cauldron, then goes to chamber because we have chamber secrets. We have what else? What else? Kill 15 spiders outside the Aragog fight, so it's +5 in chamber. And I think there was one more, right? And avoid fires in chamber. Of course, chamber is kind of lengthy, but still, it's a choice that you could go for. Also, the cauldrons. You're pretty much gonna get the cauldrons. So yeah, that's mostly it about the start. You could also, for example, what else do we have strong here? We have somewhat. We have now nice goals, but nothing that huge of a deal. So we have 8 chocolate frogs in gold and gold secrets. We have complete Gryffindor challenge, which is fast and it's gonna progress us in different challenge stars. Are there two? Yeah, there are 2 Slytherins with empty armor stands and 2 potion ingredients in Slytherin. But yeah, that's most of the routes. There's one a little bit hidden that I'm not a fan of, which I'm also went for. So I went for the Scourge, where PiKine went for the Spongify, then the Grand Staircase. So I'm not a big fan because there's one Scourge secrets. On the other hand, it gives a huge progression into empty cauldrons. It gives some stars. It gets some ingredients to get. Where is it? Use the potion cauldron. And is there anything else? I think that's it. Cauldron, stars. Yes, that's it. So it's a start. It's not the worst start, but I'm not really a fan of it. There are some also bronzes, but you can get bronzes almost anywhere, so that's also the case. So I decided with the Scourge because of that, and Scourge is a little bit faster than Spongify, which you're gonna see in a second, which gives me an opportunity to go for the stairs faster than PiKine. At least from what I remember. Wait, maybe not. PiKine dies here, from what I remember, yeah, but it's not that costly. Now he shows that he just finished Spongify, or at least finished those goals. So I know his location, he doesn't know mine, so at least I have that. PiKine made a mistake of not going to the Grand Staircase. He decides to go for the Gryffindor challenge to be closer to 29 challenge stars and getting some cauldrons. I don't think this would be enough. So because of this, I had an easy way to go to the Grand Staircase and collect other goals. Okay, here why I didn't collect all 16 beans in the Luzakr's balcony, because if I was right in front of it, PiKine would already marked it. So he went somewhere else, not the Grand Staircase. Of course, there's a possibility that he went to the potion cauldron first, then here, but again, the situation is very similar. Then he would use the potion cauldron in the hospital wing. So he's not in the Grand Staircase, so I'm pretty safe here. He's somewhere else, but not here. So I can kind of hold it. Both of these. I probably can also wait for the PiKine to make a move. Why? Because he doesn't know anything about what I'm doing, what my route is. So probably when he finishes complete Gryffindor challenge, he's gonna mark it just in case I was there, I am there, or I'm planning to go there. So there's no point for him to wait with marking this. And that's a little bit of a problem when you're marking first, because it gives the opponent the information where you are, and your opponent can snipe you like it's gonna happen right now, because I can wait a little bit longer. I don't remember how close I was. I was pretty close on those two. Also cauldrons. Yes. I don't have to really get the scarce secrets. I decided on either way, because if he was in Spongify and he was in Gryffindor challenge, there's a huge chance that he's gonna go to Sketch as well. So I already marked it. If that's his next plan, then he would be close to different challenge stars. It would be still fine to snipe him, but to be honest, he could have expected that I was a Scourge. There are a lot of cauldrons in the Grand Staircase, but not that much. Now, I went to Boomslang. Also, the Scourge was a mistake. I'm gonna point out, Scourge was a mistake because if PiKine went correctly after Spongify, he would get stairs before me, and I would be screwed once again. So yeah. Okay. I was reading my notes. In this point, at this point, wait, he could potentially predict my next movement. It would be very hard for him, but I saw the possibilities of predicting or on by PiKine or where I am, but to not get sniped on Lockhart's balcony. I'm not gonna explain it. It's very confusing, and you have to be like not even a 5 head but 7 head, so it could be potentially done. Boomslang isn't that good of a level. There's only one goal, a new goal, which is finish Boomslang with a gnome. It isn't the worst. You can get the bronzes, but it kind of loses the momentum. There's nothing really that great. PiKine doesn't know where I went. Forest is still pretty much fine of a level. You can get some Aragog here, Aragog here. I mean spiders. Was there anything else in the forest? Oh, and he can get some gnomes with a mushroom. I still decided to get some gnomes with a mushroom before and now. Maybe that was unfortunate. So the next level is gonna be even more interesting for me. Kinda bold, but I'm gonna show you in a second. Again with this gnome, getting the bronzes, some flower pots. Not really necessary, but it's always nice to have. Now going for the Defindo. It's kinda bold for me to go there. It's very safe, but there are much better levels to go for. There's Slytherin, there's Goyle, there's Bicorn. Where's Bicorn as well? So yeah, there are much better levels to go for. I'm gonna mark those even in different colors. So Bicorn here. Where's the different Bicorn? Well, I'm dying. There's Bicorn. Wait, there are two Bicorns, right? There's also Goyle with chocolate frogs. And there's Slytherin with armor stance. And there's also what else do we? What was the color? White, for example. There's also chamber with this. Plus the spiders, but at this point, PiKine might take it away. So Diffindo just gives me stacks and flower pots, and it's gonna be advance me on different challenge stars, which turned out to be pretty nice for me. But it's still pretty risky. If PiKine decides to go for the spell challenges a little bit harder, then I would only get stuck 5 mushrooms in the Findo and empty 8 flower pots for wasting so much time. Also get some bronzes, but as you can notice from PiKine's gameplay, he's not really picking up the bronze cards, so it wouldn't really matter that much. PiKine can get those. I claimed finish Boomsack with a gnome in your hand. He should expect that I was holding it a little bit, but he still has some free time to hold forest for him. So let us continue. He's gonna go for the chamber. 2 chamber goals. He can hold forest for very very long now, so that's good for him. Wait, can he? I should be, yeah. I got 5 stack mushrooms in the Findo. It's kind of hard to say if he is there. He's planning to go there. It might be this scenario, but you cannot really know. There are better levels, but maybe PiKine decides to go to the Findo as well. Because of that, PiKine can hold forest for a long time. Even if I hold it Diffindo, I couldn't hold it that much long. Looking that I did Scourge, I did Boomslang, I did stuff in the grass staircase. I probably somewhat close to the 5 stack mushrooms in Diffindo, so he can hold it very long. But he didn't really know where I would go. There's not that huge of an indicator or on where I was gonna go. He could kinda predict that I'm going to the Findo, but it's a little bit too hard. Chamber isn't an obvious choice, so probably that's the reason. He also gonna get some spiders in chamber, so it's pretty nice for him. With other levels, it's kinda risky that I'm already there. So for PiKine, it's a good choice. For me, it's fine-ish. Boomslang I kinda didn't like. There are some better levels, for example, Goyle or Slytherin. Bicor maybe not as much because it's pretty lengthy. Although 30, it takes a little bit of time. So let us continue. So the game moves on. Nothing happens on the border match. I grab this because we both know I'm in the Findo. Nothing happens. And PiKine now claims the forest. He could hold it even for a little bit longer, but it's kinda obvious that he was holding those. So at this point, and 7 gnomes, there's no point of holding those. At this point, I kinda didn't know where PiKine was. Because how much time has passed, there are 2 possibilities. Really, out of 4 of those levels. So we have Bicorn, Chamber, Slytherin, and Goyle. Much time has passed. Of course, he was holding forest for a long time because I was at the Findo, so that makes sense. But he's on another level. He would also mark other things. If he thought I would go, if I would go to forest, I would go to the level he's currently in. That's what I'm saying. If he finished, if we went for example for Slytherin or Goyle, he would already finished it and would be worried that I would go there. So he would mark Forest with another level like Slytherin or Goyle. Why only Slytherin or Goyle? Because Chamber and Bicorn are too lengthy. So from my point of view, it should be noted that PiKine is or just is finishing Bicorn or Chamber. So my go-to options are Goyle or Slytherin. They're both similar in how strong they are, but I should predict that PiKine is in Bicorn or in Chamber, so correct choice is going to Goyle or Slytherin. Even safer would be going for the... No, I take it back. That's the correct choice, yeah. So I'm getting some armor stands, because why not? And going for the Goyle with 8 chocolate frogs in Goyle and Goyle secrets. PiKine is finishing the chamber, he can hold it a little bit. I don't know how long he's gonna hold it, but he has a little bit of time, even if I was chasing him. Now from PiKine's point of view, there are a couple of choices. You cannot really know where I am currently, because not that much time has passed to know if I'm Slytherin or Goyle or Bicorn. So it's also he cannot be really sure where to go for 100%, but he decides to go for Slytherin, which is the best option out of all of them, because it's the fastest. I'm pretty sure it's faster than Goyle, I'm pretty sure, but Goyle is pretty fast when you don't have to take a lift and it's only secrets. It's fine. Frogs are a little bit lengthy, but it should be okay. So I got the cards. Here is the problem for PiKine. He's gonna die here because he went for this. When he goes again, and he tries this one again. He probably stopped thinking how he can save it, but yeah, at this point it's pretty much done. Yeah, and because of that, he lost a lot of time. Oh, I also died here. I went for the Gryffindor challenge. It's kind of safe one to go for the Gryffindor challenge, because as I've said before, PiKine was, in my view, already in Chamber or in Bicorn, so one of these is pretty risky to go for, and I just claimed Goyle even if he went after me, so I'm pretty safe on this. So he might be on Slytherin as well. Gryffindor challenge is safe in that regard, that I'm gonna get 29 challenge stars, and I'm practically stealing it from him in some way. Of course, not getting complete Gryffindor challenge, but that's okay. So let's move forward. I can claim 29 different challenge stars, and there's no point of holding this. Okay, at this point, let's check the board. I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 goals. And PiKine is currently on the board 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am expecting he went to Bicorn or Chamber. Actually, he got 15 spiders outside the Aragog fight. I should have known that he went for the Chamber, right? No, that's not the case. He could go for Spongify and Forest. I take it back. So he's at 8 somewhere, and probably at 10 currently. So probably it's a 10, but I don't kinda know where he is. Now the safe choice, with analyzing this, would be go to duels and then go to Quidditch. It's gonna take a lot of time, but it's safe because I cannot know where PiKine has been up to. But I decided to go for the level that PiKine wasn't, which is Bicorn, which was pretty nice for me. And why I decided that, I remember even up to this day why I decided Bicorn. It's pretty random, but I have some thought behind it. Chamber. Why no Chamber? Because I don't like it. That's the reason. That's literally the reason why. Why no Slytherin? Because I saw in the previous matches and the matches with me that PiKine kinda likes the Slytherin. So if he likes Slytherin, he was probably in Slytherin. So I'm gonna be left with Bicorn. Of course, as I've said before, going for the duels with wizard cards and then going to the Quidditch would be much safer because I need 2 more goals. And I would propose anyone to go for the long one, not obvious ones, if you're very close to winning. And then as a losing side, I would think how to potentially snipe my opponent on those 2, and if it's really worth it, and if it is, how you're about to do it, and if it's really your win condition and maybe your opponent goes for the Bicorn, then yours would be screwed. But for me it would be safer to go for the Bi and Quidditch match. So because of this I haven't failed anything. PiKine gets the Chamber, claims the Chamber, I go to Bicorn. I'm a little bit ahead of him, getting the chest in Bicorn, no point of holding that much, complete Bicorn, and that's for the 3rd match. And that's it for the finals of Glitchless Bingo. So yeah, it was pretty fun to analyze those matches. Next time I'm gonna probably go back with the Nixos tourney. I'm thinking about checking out my failures or maybe finals. I'm gonna see. Maybe I'm gonna learn something. Maybe I'm gonna analyze some stuff. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and let me know what you think about this new kind of style on this video. Okay, bye bye.